The numbers are impressive, but they only tell half the story. To see where India is really headed, we need to look past the skyscrapers and into the shadows of this economic boom. We're about to uncover the cracks in the armor, the extreme inequality, and the ticking social time bomb that could derail everything. This is the K-shaped recovery in its most brutal form. The upper half of the letter K, you have billionaires like Mukesh Ambani, living in a $2 billion home with 600 servants. But the lower leg of the K points to Dharavi, one of the largest slums in Asia, where over 1 million people struggle for clean water and basic sanitation. While the top 1% are flying higher than ever, 800 million Indians, nearly 60% of the population, still rely on government food aid every single month just to survive. Think of India's wealth gap as a resonance between 21st century technology and a 19th century social structure. While the elite are boarding rockets fueled by AI and rapid digitalization, the poor are still barefoot, walking on the bumpy, unpaved roads of rural prejudice and ancient traditions. We often hear about India's demographic dividend, but if you can't provide jobs for the youth, that dividend quickly becomes a demographic disaster. Imagine the Indian economy as a high-speed racing car, shattering records and moving faster than almost any other nation. But there's a catch. The car has almost no seats for passengers. Every month, 1 million young Indians enter the workforce. They stand on the curb with their tickets, their college degrees, in hand, watching the GDP supercar roar past them. They have the qualifications, but the car doesn't stop. And even if it did, there's simply nowhere for them to sit. The result? A youth unemployment rate for those aged 20 to 24 that has exploded to over 40%, the highest in Asia. The problem? India tried to leapfrog the traditional development path. They skipped the massive manufacturing phase that built China and Vietnam, jumping straight into high-end IT and services. But the reality is, you can't employ 1.4 billion people just by writing code. Millions of rural youths find themselves half-baked, not skilled enough for Bangalore's tech hubs, yet having no factories to work in. Then there are the social shackles that even a 7% GDP growth can't seem to break. The ancient caste system continues to marginalize over 200 million Dalits, locking them out of high-end opportunities despite constitutional bans on discrimination. Perhaps the biggest waste of potential is the status of women. In India, less than 25% of women participate in the formal workforce. That's lower than Saudi Arabia before its recent reforms. In a global economy, India is essentially trying to run a race with one leg tied behind its back. Internally, India is also burning from within. The rise of Hindu nationalism under the BJP has created deep fractures. With 200 million Muslims living in increasing fear and suspicion, the social fabric is stretching to its breaking point. For an American investor, this is the ultimate red flag. No one wants to pour billions into a market where a single religious riot could shut down the entire supply chain overnight. India's ambition to be the world's teacher is being undermined by a growing intolerance that threatens its very identity as the world's largest democracy. Finally, there is the issue of brain drain. While India's elite run Google and Microsoft in the US, they are doing it outside of India. The best and brightest are still fleeing the country because of the bureaucratic red tape and poor quality of life. India has the ego of a superpower, but its internal muscles are still malnourished. They often dismiss criticism as Western interference. yet they struggle to provide basic education and infrastructure for 99% of their people. With a fractured society and a struggling manufacturing base, India's path to 2047 looks like a walk on a tightrope. But even with all these internal cracks, the world simply cannot afford to let India fail. Why is the West so desperate to see this flawed giant succeed? And how is India playing a dangerous game of double agent between Washington and Moscow? In ancient Indian mythology, there is a legendary white elephant named Airavata, a divine creature with multiple trunks capable of reaching into different worlds at once. In 2026, this isn't just a myth. It is the perfect metaphor for India's role in the global order. India stands at a massive geopolitical crossroads, a chaotic roundabout where the world's most powerful forces are colliding. And unlike other nations that pick a lane and stick to it, the Indian elephant is using every single one of its trunks to play a different game on every avenue. Look to the Western Avenue. It's a glittering convoy of high-tech trucks, led by a Tesla Cybertruck loaded with semiconductor chips and advanced jet engines. Washington and its allies are waving the Quad flag, beckoning the elephant to join their lane. One of Airavata's trunks reaches out, eagerly grabbing the technology and the billion-dollar contracts. But look closely at the elephant's feet. They aren't moving. India is happy to take the Silicon Valley brain food, but it refuses to let the West steer its path. It's a partnership of interest, not an alliance of obedience. Then there's the Eastern Avenue, a deep red road dominated by a massive high-speed train and a fleet of bulldozers marked Belt and Road. Hovering above is a red dragon breathing thick smoke across the northern border. This is the front line. India uses another trunk to hold up a shield, blocking the smoke of territorial disputes and economic pressure. At the same time, it's slamming its foot on the brakes, refusing to be pushed out of the circle by China's industrial steamroller. In this lane, the elephant isn't a partner, it's a fortress. And don't forget the Northern Avenue, a rugged, snow-covered path where old Russian tankers leak oil alongside S-400 missile systems. While the West glares in disapproval, another trunk is busy siphoning off cheap Russian crude. India is buying the energy it needs to fuel its 7% growth, ignoring the sanctions and the geopolitical heat. It's a masterclass in pragmatism, filling its tank from the north while signing tech deals with the West. Outside this paved roundabout, the waters are muddy and dangerous. Small boats representing Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and Bangladesh are tossing in the waves created by the superpowers. They often have to cling to the elephant's massive legs just to stay afloat. But look to the horizon. There's a crowded grandstand filled with people from across Africa and Latin America. They aren't cheering for the West or the East. They are cheering for the elephant. To the global South, India is the champion of a third way, a nation that can stand its ground without being swallowed by any superpower. They want to see Airavata succeed because, in its strength, they see their own voice being heard for the first time in centuries. India is playing a game of total strategic autonomy, using every trunk to grab every advantage. But standing at the center of a three-way collision is exhausting. How long can the elephant keep its balance before the ground gives way? We've seen the power, the pain, and the politics. Now, it's time for the final verdict. Will the elephant's leap land safely in 2047? Or is this divine creature about to stumble? The answer might surprise you. At the end of the day, India is not just a collection of GDP figures or geopolitical strategies. To truly understand this nation, imagine it as a 28-year-old man. He's ambitious, brilliant, but his soul is caught in a tug-of-war between a 1,000-year-old past and a high-tech future. He is the ace of the class when it comes to science and math. He can write code like lightning and solve the most complex cloud computing problems in his sleep. But his real superpower? It's jugaad, that uniquely Indian spirit of frugal innovation. He's a master at turning scraps into breakthrough solutions, finding genius in the middle of a struggle. While the rest of the world's neighborhood is getting tired and graying, this 28-year-old is at his peak physical and mental strength. He is eager, ready to work 12-hour days just to prove he belongs at the top table. He has a rich, complex inner life. He can meditate for hours, prefers a vegetarian diet, and deeply believes in the philosophy of peace. In his house, you'll find a dozen different faiths, languages, and cultures living under one roof, and somehow he makes it work. He's also the friend everyone wants to be seen with. He's charming and socially flexible. He can have a formal lunch with the Americans, then head out for a grab-a-drink with the Russians, and still spend his evening discussing business with the world's poorest nations, without offending a single soul. He's a master of being everywhere at once. But let's be honest, this young man has some deep-seated flaws that hold him back. First, his environment. He is so focused on making money that he's neglected his own health. He litters his own backyard and suffers from a constant pneumonia because of the toxic smog he creates. Then there's his old-fashioned mindset. Despite his tech genius, his head is still filled with 19th century prejudices. He sometimes treats his own family members unfairly based on ancient caste lines, and he often discourages the women in his house from reaching their full potential. And finally, his clumsy habits. Every time he wants to do something big, he wastes years on bureaucracy, family arguments, and endless red tape, watching golden opportunities slip right through his fingers. This young man is a work in progress. He is flawed, yes, but he is trying. Every day, he fixes a little more, learns a little more, and climbs a little higher. In a way, we are all like him. We all carry a mix of brilliant potential and frustrating flaws. But the lesson India teaches us is this: no matter how heavy your past is, or how messy your present feels, you keep moving. You fix what you can, and you keep running toward that 100-year goal. So, I want to hear from you. Have you ever visited the chaotic, beautiful streets of India? What is the one thing you love most, or find most challenging about this rising giant? Let's talk in the comments below. This young man's greatest weapon for the future isn't just his rockets. It's his digital wallet. In our next video, we're diving into the FinTech war, how India's digital payment revolution is scaring the traditional banks of Wall Street. You do not want to miss it. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you're the first to see it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next deep dive.